The way I would see it is that if you have Magic Johnson, you got to have a Larry Bird. You got to have some of that. It's a very healthy competition. It's like the Olympics.
A lot of that was actually sparked by Intel's efforts. And Intel created this Centrino brand where they had a lot of consumer advertising showing people frolicking on the beach with their laptops.
People don't really want to be connected to a wire. They wanted to be connected wherever they were.
With Dell and HP, we had a corner on that market until Intel came in.
It was just a lot of fun.
We're eating the scraps from Intel's table, but the scraps from the king's table aren't too bad. We tried to have some proprietary differentiation. We had this whole 108 thing where we doubled the normal speed. The normal speed was 54 megabits per second raw data rate. And we did this thing that used twice as much bandwidth, which everyone kind of hated us for.
In 802.11g in the 2.4 spectrum, there was only 3 channels that you could occupy, and now they were occupying 2. And we were saying, look, because you're hogging all the spectrum, it's going to be bad for the person next door. And we created a whole campaign around that ended up being somewhat effective. We were really under pressure because the market at that time, we talked about the inflection of Intel, but it really closed a near-death experience for us was this 108.
That was proprietary. That was not standardized at that time. It wasn't even pre-standard. It was just, we just made that thing up.
IEEE functions actually in 2 ways helps this. First, clearly the standards bodies with 802.11 with the generations for the last several decades. The other thing, I think conferences definitely helps promote the sharing of ideas and allowing a lot of people to work on it. And in many ways, we did provide, or both of us provided some starting points for other people as well. Sharing of ideas, sharing of technology. I think both of those are very important functions that the organized society actually contributes to.
The existing incumbent vendors really were focused on the 802.11b, and so they kind of slipped back. The ones who had dominated the presence on the mobile side, on the laptop side, weren't able to introduce fast enough, and that was a great benefit to Broadcom and Atheros. We both were able to jump on the bandwagon quickly. On our side, on the Atheros side, it was because we had prototyped a lot of this OFDM work for the 802.11a, the 5 gigahertz standard, and then suddenly that OFDM was being used in the 2.4 band that was out there, and that 2.4 band became known as 802.11g. So it opened the door for us to race through, and Broadcom and Atheros raced in different ways, but that opened the door.
I think these are the main drivers for us to really take a dash at this. And then also, as we mentioned, we knew the technology worked, so why not?
There's a saying that it takes a village, it takes a huge team, cross-functional team within engineering, beyond engineering to the business side as well. So at least I think we should at least acknowledge that in the sense that I'm sure all of us will agree. It's a huge team effort.
Advancing technology for humanity, I thought when I was younger, I thought that was so corny. But now I'm getting a little older. I say, you know what? We need a lot of that, especially for engineering.
Back then, seriously, it was so rare that anybody had a Wi-Fi thing. And now, pretty much every single electronic device, whatever you get, I mean, you buy something for your kitchen, it's got Wi-Fi in it.
Everything was just kind of falling in place, and we were just lucky enough, all of us, to be at that moment to connect all these dots. We had all this comms theory stuff, starting with military and satellites and cellular. We had a lot to play with. We had this silicon stuff and the modeling for our radio frequency modeling, very high frequency operation, and CMOS was there for us to play with these platforms. All these laptops came out and they needed something to snip their cables right at the right moment. There was a standard around, it was dusty, it was decent bandwidth, and we were able to evolve that standard at the moment. There was all of these opportunities were just lying around, and we were able to connect them.
It was just about the people, and I'm really, really happy about the journey that I have been part of.